UTG at Work is an apostolate that comes out of the Archdiocese of Detroit. We're all about helping women and men understand their identity as missionary disciples, equipping them to grow in their unique mission from God, and supporting them as they joyfully live out their faith and witness to Christ and the gospel in the workplace. We believe that the Great Commission of Jesus Christ to go and make disciples can't be restricted to what goes on within the four walls of our churches. It needs to be unleashed everywhere, including at work. We have good news, and we want to share it. Have you ever been in a situation where someone was obnoxiously vocal about their faith, trying to force it on everyone around them? It's not a fun situation to be in, is it? It can be awkward. It can be aggravating. It can burn bridges that will never be able to be rebuilt. The people who do these things are usually trying to do the right thing. They want to save souls, but they're sadly misguided, and their efforts often end up doing more harm than good. You see, faith is a very personal thing. In our culture, we tend to be quiet about our faith, keeping it to ourselves and only sharing it when we feel comfortable with the people with whom we are sharing. And so, if you or I were to start sharing our faith with someone before we get a chance to know them on a more personal basis, well, they might very well be turned off. There's an old adage that applies here. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. This is why the first step in evangelizing at work is developing relationships. More often than not, developing relationships with someone begins with things that are unrelated to the faith. Developing a relationship with someone takes time, and it takes a genuine interest in them as a person. Making good relationships with people at work is not only the first step toward evangelizing them, it also just makes good sense. You spend a lot of time with the people at work. That time will be much more enjoyable if you truly like each other. Now, most people don't need help in understanding how to make relationships with other people. We do it all the time. But there are some principles to keep in mind as you go about making relationships at work. Relationships aren't built in a staff meeting. They're built in the coffee room, in the cafeteria. They're built in restaurants and at after-work gatherings. Good relationships are most often built over informal interactions and not formal settings. You won't have a lot of luck trying to get to know someone on a personal basis during a staff meeting or in a morning huddle. We're wired to be more formal in those settings, and people are much less likely to let down their guard and talk about things other than work. The way to get to know someone is over coffee or lunch or even with a glass of wine after work. Don't get into arguments, even if you're sure that the other person is wrong. Always try to be the peacemaker, the one who rises above the hot topic of the day and instead sees the bigger picture. This will not only send a positive message to the person you're talking with, but it also sends a positive message about you to others who observe your interaction. If at all possible, build relationships during good times. Trying to build a healthy relationship during a crisis isn't impossible, but it is very difficult. Ironically, it's during a crisis when healthy relationships are most needed. People are much better at solving problems when they know and trust one another. Make an effort to use the good times, the happy times, the times of success and joy to get to know people better. Don't develop relationships just so that you can one day evangelize. Develop them because you genuinely care. Relationships are built on a real concern for the other, not on hopes of achieving a desired outcome, even if the desired outcome is the ability to evangelize at work. To grow a relationship with someone, find ways to show them that you care about them as a person. Send them birthday cards, send them emails, ask them about sick loved ones, ask them if you can help when they seem down. Don't be afraid to share things about yourself with them. This is a way of telling them that you trust them and that you value their friendship. Thanks for joining us for this first step in evangelizing at work. Take some time to discuss the questions from this video, and we'll see you again when you launch the next video in this series on demonstrating good Christian behaviors at work. If you want to learn more about UTG at Work, please visit our website at utgatwork.org.